whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
Have you ever made 300 million in one night? Have you ever made 100 million in one night? Have you ever made 70 million in one night?
I guarantee you, every team know exactly how much money you got. Why you think they know that y'all can't wait them out when it comes to strike? Because they know how much you spend.
Shannon went off on Floyd, saying he went broke and now he's hiding from the feds. He claimed Floyd's flashy lifestyle was all fake, just a way to cover up his money problems. Shannon also said Floyd's using the media to distract everyone from the truth.
I have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
Even though Floyd Mayweather is one of the richest athletes ever, he's caught up in money problems that are hard to ignore. From tax issues with the IRS to wild spending that many call reckless. It looks like he's having a tough time handling his wealth. It's a strange situation. Someone with millions still struggling with money. Now people are seriously questioning how he manages his finances, the choices he's making, and what his future might look like.
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something as just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment. So if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use this place.
One of Floyd Mayweather's biggest money problems has been his fight with the IRS. He's been accused of owing more than $22 million in unpaid taxes from 2015. The IRS even filed a federal tax lien to get that money back. Floyd tried to get a delay by telling the tax court that most of his money was tied up in things he couldn't easily sell. He asked to pay later, but the IRS said no, claiming he actually had enough cash to pay off the debt right away.
And it looks like he's filed a petition with the United States tax court saying that much of his money is tied up. It cannot be easily converted into the cash that he needs to pay those taxes. And so for that reason, he's asking for a short-term installment agreement, and that's going to allow him more time to get the cash. Right, and according to the Law 360 report, here's a direct quote. Although the taxpayer has substantial assets, those assets are restricted and primarily illiquid. So the taxpayer has a significant liquidity event scheduled in about 60 days from which he intends to pay the balance of the 2015 tax liability.
Even with all his money problems, Mayweather keeps making headlines for spending big. Recently, he claimed he bought a $42 million building, but that move was quickly called out by rapper and former rival 50 Cent, who didn't believe it.
Boxing.news. The beef between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather is heating up again. 50 Cent posted a video calling out Floyd's claim of spending $400 million on NYC apartments, saying there's no proof of the purchase. The long-running feud continues, with 50 Cent suggesting Floyd's real estate empire may be a fancy fantasy. Floyd has remained silent, but the drama shows no signs of ending.
50 Cent publicly said there's no proof Floyd actually bought the building, basically calling him out for lying. This has made people question if Floyd's investments are even real, and whether he's actually handling his money the right way.
Did Floyd Mayweather make a good real estate deal? Let's break it down really quick so you can understand. Yes, the fuck he did. Let's start off with the purchase price. He bought 1,000 units for $402 million. What's the math? 402 million. Let's say 400 million divided by 1,000 units. That's what, people? $400,000. Okay, follow me. Now, rent in New York is about $3,000 to $4,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Crazy, I know. That's how they living though. Now keep up. 400,000. What's 1% of 400,000? All right, that's $4,000. In real estate, there's something called the 1% rule, which means if something is 1% of the purchase price in rent, that means it is a cash flowing possibility, opportunity. So he has a cash flowing property straight out the gate. We're not going to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax exemptions he will get for this property. It's a win for Floyd. He doesn't lose.
Floyd's connection to money seems deeper than just being rich. It almost looks like an obsession. He's often seen in public carrying bags of cash and showing off his wealth nonstop. At one event, he was even caught counting money during a fight, completely ignoring what was happening in the ring. While it might seem like he's just showing off, a lot of people are starting to wonder if this behavior points to something more serious, like issues with his mental health.
He might be one of the greatest boxers ever, but this is weird as hell. Now I know this guy has an obsession with money. He didn't get the name Money Mayweather for no reason. But after a bit, you've got to start to question this guy's sanity. And especially if you're doing it at an NBA game, where that seat should be your friend, your spouse, a parent. You've got to start raising some flags about this guy's well-being. Because instead, he took a bag of money with him to keep him company at an NBA game. Now this app, and even people in my space, some of them, their personality is all about money. If they couldn't mention that they were a millionaire or they had money, they'd be the driest person on here. Their whole personality is all about this. And I don't know, as a grown man, why the hell, or should I say how the hell, did that even cross your mind?
Floyd's money problems haven't just made headlines. They've also made him a target. UFC star Conor McGregor and UFC President Dana White have both mocked him over his tax troubles. In one interview, they even joked about how hard it is to dig out of a financial mess like his, just adding insult to injury.
Training hard. Did Floyd not take out his own jets?
Floyd's got 3.
Oh, yeah,
So Floyd's got the money he got, and he got 2
tax
others.
problems. That's what he's got. Oh, no.
That's Lord.
That's heavy shit. That is heavy shit.
It's hard to get out from underneath
Fucking
that.
right it is, especially when I'm on top of you.
In response, Floyd brushed it all off, saying he does numbers and makes money no matter what, even admitting he can't read. While he may have been trying to downplay the criticism, it only made things worse. To many, it just confirmed the idea that Floyd's fortune isn't built on smart decisions, but more on luck and controlling how the public sees him.
We're not talking about being at the top 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, mother 21 years. Yeah, and they said I'm the that can't read. I do numbers. I make money. You know my middle name.
You own money.
I do. P-Dot, let me see the bag.
Floyd might still be cashing checks, but the cracks are showing, and not everyone's buying the image anymore. With rivals taking shots and his own words raising eyebrows, the question remains, is the money team running on fumes? If you're into stories that go beyond the surface, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.